Hello and welcome to the third video of the chapter Geography, chapter number 11, Types of Resources. So friends, let us have a look on summarized view of what we had gone through in the previous video. We just gone through the introduction of resources, that what resource is there. We just knew the definition of resource, and at last we went through the characteristics of resources, right? So on that base, now we'll go for the classification of resource. That is the next part of this chapter. So welcome to this video. Let us start. In general, resources are categorized into three broad types. There are three main types. First is natural resource, second is human made resource, and the last is human resource, right? So we'll first discuss obviously first point, that is natural resource. So natural resources can be further classified as shown below. So let us look. Natural resources. The word natural is very even natural also and very easy also, right? Naturally occurring materials that support life, such as water, air, and sunlight, or resources that satisfy a human want, such as food, raw materials, and mineral fuels, are natural resources. So students, what is the basic definition of natural resources? It means resources that are available naturally, first of all. So whatever available naturally, it will occur also naturally. So naturally occurring some materials or some things or some objects which support life. Life, it means humans, wild animals, and all the living beings. So for them, whatever is necessary and those things available that is occurring naturally, that are called natural resources. We have example: water, air, sunlight. These are the three main basic and essential resources that we want or we need, right? Water, air, and sunlight, all of you know that. Or some resources, the definition in, on some other aspect, that is that satisfy a human want, whatever needs are there for us, whatever requirement from our side, such as food, right? All the living beings need food for their survival. Some raw material for further processing, and mineral fuels, right? Mineral fuels, in the glossary also we went through fossil fuels, and some mineral fuels, it means the fuels that are available as a mineral beneath the earth also. These are natural resources. So naturally, what is available to us to fulfill our basic requirement, or something that support life, for the survival matters, whatever is available or whatever we need that are naturally available, that is called natural resources. Clear about the definition? Okay, let us move further. So natural resources, we have further classification, that is on the base of origin, then on the base of stage of development, then on the base of renewability. So all the sub classification have also sub classification, like origin has abiotic, that is non-living, as we just understood in glossary, and biotic, that is living. The example of non-living is soil, water, etc. Biotic, that is living. Example of living is wildlife, humans, vegetations, etc. Second is stage of development. Stage of development, it means at what level they are developed. So based on that stage of development, the subclassification of natural resources is potential and actual. So the meaning of actual is very easy. Actual, we use the word actual in our day to day life very well. The use of the meaning of potential is means powerful, something that cannot be controlled, that is called potential, right? So the example of potential is tidal and solar energy. And actual resources, examples are iron ore and coal. We'll discuss it further. And the example of renewability of the subclassification of natural resources are renewable and non-renewable. So renewability is mean ability to renew itself. So there are basically two types. Renewable, it means natural resources which renews themselves, which replenish themselves, or which that recreates or remake themselves. That is forest and air. Air, we humans and wildlife and almost most part of the living organisms consume air for their survival. But have you ever experienced that air is lacking? No, air is continuously available. The moment we consume, same moment it renews itself. So that is renewable. And non-renewable, it means whatever resources, they take more time to renew or replenish themselves. That is called non-renewable. That we also discuss. That is mineral ores, right? That is mineral in raw form. Ore, ore is a scientific word. Again, you know the meaning of ore, but ore means raw form. And fossil fuels, right? That was discussed in glossary. That remains of wildlife and vegetations under the tree millions of years ago, they are called fossil fuels. Why? Because due to pressure and heat, they just were converted after millions of years. After millions of years, they were converted into the liquid called fossil fuels, right? So this is the classification of natural resources. So let us see. First was origin, right? As we discuss origin. So based on origin, what is the definition of natural resources? Based on origin, or where they are derived from, resources can be divided into biotic or abiotic. So as we saw in that pictorial chart, according to the origin, it means basically they are from where, right? So based on origin, resources we can classify on more two classification, that is biotic and abiotic. Biotic means living, abiotic means non-living. Let us discuss it in detail. Biotic resources include natural vegetation and forests, wildlife, aquatic ecosystems of both freshwater and salt water. So biotic resources, here we should not forget the definition of resources. Resource means anything or any object or any substance that can be useful for us, that is humans, or that is useful to make human life comfortable, that is called resource. Clear? Okay. So biotic resource, it means living things, which includes natural vegetations, the things we grow, forest, jungles are there, wildlife, wild animals, all the things. Aquatic ecosystem. Aquatic is the word that is derived from aqua, and aqua means water. So aquatic, it means related to water. Aquatic ecosystems, it means a system under the water. So nature has also ecosystem under and outside the water also. So aquatic ecosystem of both type of water, fresh water that is usable by us for drinking purpose, for washing purpose, and all the for many purpose, that is fresh water. The sources of fresh water, just tell me: pond, streams, lake, wells, rivers, and salt water. Salt water sources, yes, oceans, right? Okay, so this was biotic resource, which it includes natural vegetations, forests, wildlife, aquatic ecosystems under both freshwater and salty water, right? So next is abiotic. Abiotic means non-living. They include land utilized for settlement, soil for cultivation, water for survival, and minerals. So basically three four things coming under the abiotic resources, that is non-living thing. First is land, जमीन जिसको हम कहते हैं, that is utilized for settlement. Settlement is, it means for residing, it means to build homes or whatever, and for building shops and factories also. Whatever we build over the land, that is called settlement. Mostly settlement is, the word is used for the residential. Clear? Next example for abiotic resource is soil for cultivation. As you know that the uppermost layer of the land is called soil, right? So whatever we grow on the land, over the soil, it is called soil, that is we are using for cultivation. So that is also abiotic resource. Cultivation, that is farming. Water we are using for our survival, because no human, no even wildlife can survive without water. And the last is minerals. Minerals are also abiotic, that is non-living thing. Biotic and abiotic, we can have one more comparison, that anything that can grow itself, right, that is called biotic, and the opposite of it is abiotic. So that was the first step. First classification of natural resources was on the base of origin, and on the base of origin two classification was there. What? Biotic and abiotic. Clear? Next is stage of development. Stage of development, it means at what level or at what stage they are developed. So let us discuss. Resources can be classified as potential or actual, depending on whether they are being developed currently or are available for future development. So on this definition, what can we decide is, whatever resources we are using right now or we are developing right now, they are called actual resource. And whatever resources we are not able to develop or use it right now for some reason, they may be called potential resource. So on this definition, the classification is very clear. One classification is the resources which are being developed currently, and another classification is the resources which may be known by us, but we will develop or we will use it further in future. So on the base of classification, that is a stage of development, first is potential resource. Clear? Potential resource. The word potential has been discussed in glossary. The meaning of potential is powerful or something which cannot be controlled. Clear? These resources are known to exist and have been located but are not being utilized or developed at present. So the meaning of potential resources basically is these are the resources which we know that they exist. Exist means to be there, astitva, which we know that they exist and we may even have located them. Located them, it means we know the location of that. We know the exact place where we can fetch them. But main condition is they are not being utilized or developed at present. Right now we are not utilizing it. Right now we are not developing it, or other aspect we can say that right now we are not able to utilize or develop at present. These are called potential resources. Clear? So reason may be in your mind a question can stuck that why we are not able to utilize or develop at present. So the main reason can be we do not know the exact method or techniques to fetch it very controllably, or we may not have the level of technology to use it at present, right? But the main positive part is this: they may be developed and utilized in the future, right? So right now we are able to fetch the information regarding their existence, their location, but not having technique or technology to develop it. But we may develop it in future. It has happened many a time, right? In past, many technologies we are using right now, in past we were not even aware of it. Many minerals or many resources we are right now using, right? In past we were not even aware of it, right? So for example, uranium that is found recently under Rajasthan land and even in Jammu, that Ladakh also, right? So uranium right now we have found, that is we know the existence of uranium is there. We have located also, but the main thing is that we do not have any particular method or enough technology to utilize it, but we'll utilize it in future. Clear? Okay. Tidal energy, solar energy and geothermal energy, all the three things. Tidal, it has been discussed in glossary. Solar, which is related to sun, and geothermal energy, which was also discussed in glossary, right? That is energy or heat coming down from downside of the earth. It is coming upside and we are using that energy. That is called geothermal energy. So these are the resources in most of parts of the world, are potential resources waiting to be tapped. So rather, if we are using it, we are not able to use it efficiently or sufficiently. The word sufficient is also discussed in the glossary, that it means proper or enough quantity, right? So the potential resource definition is they are known to exist, means उनका अस्तित्व है, they have been located, उनका पता भी चल गया है कहाँ पे है, but are not being utilized or developed at present. अभी वो use नहीं हो पा रहे या उनका पूरा use नहीं हो पा रहा है. So they may be developed and utilized in the future, right? The examples are tidal, solar and geothermal energy. Clear? So the next, that is second classification of natural resources on the base of stage of development, right? We are discussing stage of development is actual resources. First we discuss what? Which kind of resource? Yes, potential resource. Next is actual resource. Actual resource these have been properly surveyed and assessed and are being currently used by humans. So opposite of potential resource, actual resources are located, assessed, surveyed and they are being currently used by humans. मीन्स ऐसे रिसोर्सेज जिनका सर्वे किया गया है, पूरा जांच पड़ताल की गई है, असेस किया गया है, टेस्टिंग चेकिंग भी किया गया है एंड अभी करंटली यूज भी हो रहा है. दे आर करंटली यूज बाय ह्यूमंस आल्सो. दैट इज कॉल्ड एक्चुअल रिसोर्सेज. Examples of actual resources, that is iron ore. We have been using iron ore since many years. And coal, we have been using coal also since many years, that are being extracted from Chota Nagpur plateau, right, in India and used in iron and steel plants, right. So this is very clear example of iron ore and coal, right. Coal mines are also there in Jharkhand, right. So iron ore is also available in India many places. So these are the two examples of actual resources which we know that all over the world where they are, in which quantity, around roughly which quantity they are available, right, and how to use them sufficiently, we are knowing that. That is why they are called actual resources. Clear? In simple words, ऐसे रिसोर्सेज जिनको सर्वे किया गया है, चेक किया गया है, छांचा गया है और उनको अभी यूज भी कर रहे हैं, दे आर बीइंग यूज्ड इवन बाय ह्यूमंस, दीज आर कॉल्ड एक्चुअल रिसोर्सेज. यू कैन हैव मेनी एग्जांपल्स, राइट. iron ore, coal, water, many resources are there. Clear? You can see the two examples, pictorial examples, that of one is of potential resource, that is tidal energy. You can see the posts are installed under the sea water and along with that motor rotor is also installed and fans are there, but these will revolve with the use of the energy that is generated from the tides, right. The tidal energy is generated like this. Clear? Over here an actual resource, that is iron ore. Clear? A raw form of iron. Iron ore, it means raw form of iron which may be processed to have iron. Clear? So this is the example of actual resource. Clear? The actual use of resource depends on, now we can have some more information of actual resource, depends on their accessibility, the cost of development and utilization, the availability of technology and the market conditions. So actual resources, we have come to know that what is the definition of actual resources, that they have surveyed, they have assessed and they are currently used. But what is the dependency on that? The use of dependence, right? That is accessibility, right? That from where they are being accessed. Clear? Access means from where they are available. Second is the cost of development and utilization, right? To use those resources and to develop those resources, what is the cost? If the cost is effective, if the cost is reasonable, if the cost is ideally cheap, then only they will be used. The third is the availability of technology, right? That which kind of technology is available to us to fetch these kind of resources, that is also the dependency of that. And the last is market condition, right? That on which in the market how they are available or how they are in demand, right? That is this kind of dependency of actual use of resources. Clear? some information regarding also this, right? A century ago, before hundreds of 100 years, aluminium was a mere curiosity rather than a resource, and uranium was virtually unknown. Today both of these are important resource. So right now we just discussed about uranium. So along with that, aluminium was also a mere, it means just a curiosity rather than a resource. It was not a resource only, but it was a curious thing. People just were willing to know that what aluminium is and how it works and what are the things. Right now many vessels of aluminium is also there, and aluminium is being used in many kind of factories, industries also, right? But before 100 years it was something like potential resource. Right now it is being used, it is currently surveyed, assessed, and it is being used. That is why it is known as actual resource. So other example is of uranium. It was virtually unknown. Anyone had not seen uranium before 100 years, but right now we have information regarding what uranium is, how it is fetched, and where it is available. So first classification of natural resources was origin, based on origin. Second was stage of development. Okay, and based on origin it was biotic and abiotic, that is living and non-living. Second was stage of development, that is potential resource and actual resource, right? The third is renewability. So is it renewable or not? It simply suggests some resources are renewable by natural or human assisted processes. Natural, some resources are renewable by nature. It means air, water, it is renewable by nature. Air, just we breathe, the moment we breathe, it is renewed by nature. There is no process humans can manipulate, right? Water also, water cycle, water is available. With the water will be converted into vapor form, and it will go to the clouds and it will rain. So this is water cycle. So no human manipulation, no human interaction, right, in this. And the others are non-renewable. Clear? So first we'll see renewable resources: solar power, wind and tidal energy, crops, forests, fisheries, wildlife, air and water are examples of renewable resources. Renewable resources means solar power first, that is energy obtained from sun. It has been said that whatever the number of homes are there on the earth, if we laminate all the walls of all the homes by solar plates and we just fetch solar energy, then also it would not be used even 1% of solar energy coming from the sun. It is renewable, continuously renewable. Wind, continuously renewable. We are also even not able to see the wind. Wind is very essential for us. Tidal energy, tides are continuously. They are continually. Continually, it means not constantly available. Sometimes, after sometimes it is available. Right? That is continuously. Fisheries, forests, crops, wildlife, air and water, these are the examples of renewable resources. They can be renewed over here. They can be renewed or replenished in a shorter period of time. They renew themselves in a shorter period of time. Over here, shorter period of time, it means one generation can see them renewing. That is called shorter period of time. They are also more easily available and more widely distributed than non-renewable resources. So as compared to non-renewable resources, these renewable resources are available, easily available, and they are more widely spread. They are widely distributed over the earth compared to non-renewable resources. Air तो available on the earth everywhere. Water, mostly area, water is available. Wildlife, obviously, wherever water is available, fisheries are available. And except some barren lands, forest and crops are also available, right? Tidal energy, wherever sea, oceans are there, they are available. So these are called renewable resources, the resources which renew themselves in very shorter period of time. That is called renewable resources, right? Most renewable resources regenerate themselves either through a cyclic flow process that is often continuous, like the water cycle, or a reproductive process common to all living things. So, going ahead, we have the information regarding how renewable resources regenerate themselves, because the meaning of renew is to remake, recreate, regenerate, फिर से बनाना, right? So also in that also there are two aspects how they renew themselves. First is they renew themselves with cyclic flow process. Example is water cycle. We just discussed water is available in water sources. It converted into water vapor and it goes up to the clouds. Clouds will be filled with the moisture like water, and then they will rain, so water will come again. So that is cycle, that is called water cycle. So first aspect is cyclic flow process and second is a reproductive process. Reproductive process, it means, take an example of grass or forest or crops. They are grown, they will grow. Then what will happen at the time of if we pluck something from crops, right? Harvesting, we can say. After harvesting, they will grow them. They will grow again. Again, harvesting process will there. They will be reduced. Again, they will grow. That is called reproductive process. It means it produces itself again and again. That is called a reproductive process. If the most common example is our hair. Hairs are cut, again they will grow. That is called a reproductive process. Clear? So that was all about renewability. Here we have example of solar power, wind power, that is wind energy, and crops. These are some examples of renewable resources. Again, we have to keep in mind that renewability definition is which resources which are able to renew themselves in a shorter period of time. Clear? So let us now discuss non-renewable resources. Non-renewable resources have the definition opposite to renewable definition, right? Renewable resources. These are either not replenishable or may take millions of years to be renewed. The resources which, firstly, if they are not replenishable, it means they are not reproductive or they cannot reproduce. Or other aspect of definition is that they are renewable but they may take not a 1 year or 2 year or hundreds year of thousands of years or even lakhs of years, but they take millions of years to be renewed. So very fine line between the renewable resources and non-renewable resources definition. Both can renew, but renewable resources have very short time to be renewed. They renew themselves in very short time. Over here, short time, it means one generation can see. Clear? So it ranges from 1 second to 10 years, can be possible. But non-renewable resources may have the range of years to be renewed like millions. So one generation cannot see. Clear? So non-renewable resources means the resources which get renewed or replenished, but they take time, millions of years. Clear? So some examples: minerals, ores and fossil fuels are examples of non-renewable resources. Mineral ores are there, we are constantly digging and fetching them out, but we all know that one bad day they will be empty, they will not be available for us, they will not be accessible. Fossil fuels, as we discussed earlier in glossary also, fossil fuels regenerate themselves after millions of years, because whatever fossil fuels we are using right now nowadays, they have been generated since millions of years to now. So in order to them, for regenerating, it will get millions of years. That is why they are non-renewable, because our generation will not be able to see that. The generation that is using these resources will not be able to see that. That is why that is called non-renewable. Clear? For example, it takes a few years to use up an entire coal seam, but to produce one such seam may require a whole period of geologic time or millions of years. A seam of coal, it has been discussed in glossary. Seam, it means a quantity of coal. We had compared it with the trunk of wood, right? A particular quantity of coal that is available, a seam of coal. It is very easy to use a seam of coal for the burning process, for the fuel process, that like years ago there were steam engine trains, right? So coal was used constantly to boost up the engines of trains. So it is very easy to use the entire coal seam, but to produce one seam of coal, it may require the whole period of geologic time of or millions of years. Millions of years, that is very easily known by you. Geological time, it has also been discussed in the glossary, that something physical change is happening in the earth, the time being taken by the earth, that is called geologic time, right? Geologic time, it means time witnessing the changes or development of earth, that is called geologic time, right? So students, this is non-renewable resources. Something more is there. Non-renewable resources are also unevenly distributed. However, all resources are unevenly distributed. We cannot see that. We cannot say that India is rich of all the resources. No, diamond and gold is available at Africa, whereas rice and wheat is available in ample amount in India, right? Whereas in America it is rich by another resources. So however, non-renewable resources are also unevenly distributed. It means it is not evenly distributed in the every part of earth, right? Every continent, we can say. And it can be exploited. The word exploit has been also explained in the glossary, that exploit, it means to use it maximally in order to derive benefit from this, right? That is exploit. Only if they exist in sufficiently large deposit. I am telling it again, non-renewable resources are also unevenly distributed. They are not distributed evenly, it means equally they are not distributed on the earth, and they can be exploited. You can use it maximally when only if they exist in sufficiently large deposit. If the deposit means the overall quantity, the overall collection of the resources are available in sufficient means available in adequate or proper quantity, right? Sufficient, it means the quantity which we need, then only we can exploit it. हम उनका पूरा यूज कैसे कर पाएंगे और कब कर पाएंगे? जब उनका पूरा क्वांटिटी जब अवेलेबल होगा तब. क्लियर? Some renewable resources become non-renewable if they are destroyed by bad management and improper practices. If we are not careful in using renewable resources, then also renewable resources also can become non-renewable resources. Students, we very well know that what is the meaning of renewable and non-renewable, right? So on the basis of definition of non-renewable and renewable, you know very well that renewable resources, just like tidal, solar, air, water, they are available in ample amount, unlimited, abundance. But still, if we are careless in using that, then those kind of renewable resources can also become non-renewable. It means it will be obsolete in nearer future if we are not careful in using it, or if we use it with very bad management or improper practice. Example, in the USA, for example, some farmlands have lost their topsoil. Higher lands have been eroded and streams and lakes silted up. USA examples have been discussed that some farms have lost their topsoils. It means because of the overuse or because of the carelessness, some farms have lost their topsoil, that is the top layer of the land, that is soil over there, what we crop, what we use for the cultivation. Higher lands have been eroded, the lands which are placed over height, they have been eroded, right? Erosion, that is we have discussed in glossary, it means the removal of the top layer of rock, land and soil. So that is also that also has happened in USA, and some streams and lakes also silted up. Silt, that is fine sand or smooth clay that is available at the bottom of flowing water, right? But when water is not available in enough amount, then that silt will be higher, right? So they are silted up, it means the water will be of very low quantity or water is obsolete from that sources. So these happen because of careless use or because of overuse or because of bad management or improper practice, right? So if used judiciously, the judiciously word, it means it is used very wisely. Wisely, it means used with good judgment. However, renewable resources should be able to sustain development for a long time to come. Now, if we use these resources judiciously, it means wisely, it means with the good sense, with carefulness. If we use that, however, renewable resources should be able to sustain development. So if we use it very carefully, then renewable resources will take very long time to be used. Even renewable resources will be sustained for the development for a long time to come. So this is also important. The non-renewable resources also need to be managed well so that we do not experience a scarcity of such resources in the future, right? So in this last paragraph, what it has suggested that the non-renewable resources, the resources which are non-renewable, they also need to be managed well. We should also manage it well while using it, so that we do not experience a scarcity. Scarcity is the word that has been explained in glossary. Scarcity, it means shortage or lack. A scarcity of such resources in the future. If we do not if we do not want these resources to be obsolete in the future, then we need to use it very wisely, very judiciously. Clear?